Yeah. And so I want to introduce you to the principle of pulsation. Pulsation is probably the most natural movement of all. It's most likely the first movement of all as well, starting with the Big Bang. The beginning of this universe, at least as physicists say. And it's expanding, as they say. I'm not sure about that. And they even think it might collapse and contract again. But what I'm pretty sure of is that you can see each cell in our body pulsating under a microscope. They expand and they contract in a natural rhythm if they are healthy. If they are not healthy, this rhythm starts to disappear or change. And that's even a very early on sign for illnesses and diseases. And it's very natural for us humans in a growing up process to really pulsate. If I feel secure, if I have a healthy bond with my mother, for example, it's just natural to start exploring the world, to expand the world I'm living, to perceive new things. But it's as important to be able to come back to my mother, to be in this secure space after this dog's been barking at me and I never experienced something like this before. I contract, I'm in fear, and with the contraction, with the fear, I can protect myself. As well as growing up physically, my bones really expand. Lucas?
Do you still hear Pascal? Everybody? I just read that somebody doesn't. I think the volume has gone down a little bit, but can you still hear him?
I can still sort of hear him, but he hit the mic and the sound went down a lot. Not as well. Yeah. So if you can check your microphone or something.
I also hear him less louder.
Okay.
We still have a try this way. It's sometimes because I move back and forth, that's sometimes not as easy. And we have a second mic here otherwise. So I don't hear or see a clear sign, so I keep on. And if not, write in the chat or give me a sign, yeah? Okay. So in the physical way of growing up, expanding. Okay. Can you mute the mic?
Okay. So.
Okay. In this physical growing up process, our bones expand, they grow, and then we need the phase of stability again. It's kind of filling up with tissue. The bones get more dense. And once this is done, we can start growing again. But this is kind of a very healthy growing and even growing up process, which wouldn't be possible if you're just expanding all the time. Probably our bones will break, same as trees. If they grow too quick, they are not well stabilized. So this is kind of a very natural rhythm and partially even life itself. Of course, for us, it's not possible to live without pulsation. For example, the pulse of your heart. It's opening, expanding, and contracting. And it's not better if it's opening or if it's closing and contracting, but both are really necessary to stay alive. And aliveness might be determined by pulsation too. As your breath, for example, if it's shallow, You have just a very little energy. But when you start breathing deeply, full inhale, full exhale, usually people feel more alive. It's one important thing for us. It's not an either or. Expansion is not better than contraction or the other way around, but both movements are necessary to be fully alive and to be alive at all. But when does expansion appears naturally? Usually with joy, when we feel warm, when our needs are met, our system just start opening. That's why many people prefer expansion about contraction. But if we cannot contract well, seeing a muscle, for example, we cannot build force. If we cannot protect ourselves and contract, we might just run into one accident to another. And there, contraction is really the part which usually brings us back to ourselves. Brings a client back from, ooh, 1,000 things are happening. It's all so intense and I really struggle with doing anything. But when I start contracting, I can sense my own boundaries again, in flesh and bones, as well as the boundaries of my nervous system arousal, of how do I want to relate to someone. If I don't have the opportunity to contract, to sometimes withdraw, just couldn't be healthy on a long-term perspective. And expansion is something we need to explore the world. If you want to have your own space, it's really good if you expand. This is usually even implemented on our outer body sides, which are more protective, the yang sides, for example, in traditional Chinese medicine. And the system we work with in holistic body work, it's the potential of the energy line Senkalatari going from your fingertips, inside and outside, from your toes, front and back, to the belly button, to our point of gravity, to the core center. So it's about this expansion movement as well, which sometimes appears with a little bit of anger, like, I want it different. I need my space. And that's quite healthy too. And as some people say, anger is force without space. But with an expansion, you can really bring the force of anger to life in a very healthy way. Similar with contraction. If I contract and come back to myself, it's easier to sense where I'm at. How am I really feeling? And that's a part of Senkalatari, the energy line, where it's going down to my belly button, to my intestine, so I can start digesting everything. If I'm always out there, always expanding, I cannot really integrate my experience. And that's the part where we really work with hands-on in the course Being Fully Alive as well, that we find this expansion and find the challenges, but to fully integrate physically, as well as emotionally, as well as energetically. For example, working along this line, And expansion usually happens when we work this line from center to the outside. And when we work this line from the fingers to the center, it's supporting more this cozy, held feeling. And one important note, at least for those who know the approach a bit better already, and I see some familiar faces here, Senkalatari and this energetical principle of pulsation, expanding and contraction, is closely linked to the fight-flight mode and to the sympathetic nervous system. Yeah, so this has even different correlations in the body as well, like with organs, that the emotion, anger, for example, gets stored in the liver. Maybe some of you heard about that. It's just a concept, but if you understand Senkalatari and this energy line and how it expresses, then it's much easier to connect the physical function of the organ with the emotional function, with the mental function. And I don't know where your interest is really going to. So I think it's a lovely point to see if you have any questions, and then we can dive deeper into different aspects of pulsation, being fully alive, and how we can support this for ourselves and people we work with.